There's a lot of action on land, but there's just as much underwater. It's just that we don't see it as much because we don't live there. Have you ever seen an octopus in action? Or have you ever heard of the Bobbitt worm? If you're into ocean creatures, this is a must-watch as we count down 15 times sea animals mess with the wrong opponents.
He's picking it up! That is nuts!
Number 15. Mantis shrimp versus hermit crab. Mantis shrimp are scavengers who eat a variety of hard-shelled invertebrates, including fish. They're notorious for using their front appendages to kill and dismember their prey with a lightning-fast punching motion. A mantis shrimp crushes and eats its meal and attacks and eats a goldfish. To avoid boredom, the creatures often demand a fascinating hunt, in which case they are more likely to damage their glass or acrylic habitat in search of freedom or fresh prey. This mantis shrimp crushes a hermit crab. It plays around with it for a while. A rematch between a mantis shrimp and a hermit crab. The crab fights back, but in the end, it looks injured and it looks like it's trying to hide from the mantis shrimp. The mantis shrimp is a tough underwater boxer, as you have seen in the previous clips. Its eyes are complex with 12 photoreceptors to identify colors. It has powerful claws that can strike as fast as 3 milliseconds. This hermit crab is about to fall prey to the mantis shrimp and get eaten alive. This huge mantis shrimp seems to be having a lot of fun trying to pull the hermit crab out of its shell. I guess the shrimp has developed special techniques to do this as it walks away with the crab.
The Fanatic brings you all the best content you want to see when it comes to the animal kingdom. If you want to see the latest confrontations between animals and the best animal videos, please subscribe now. We post new videos every day for your entertainment.
Number 14. Moray eel versus octopus. This moray eel jumps an octopus, but the octopus is able to find recluse under some rocks. Once the eel leaves, the octopus can be seen swimming away as fast as it can. This octopus snatches a moray eel and slowly but surely pulls it into its den. The moray eel tries to resist, but the octopus seems too strong this time around. This viper eel, which is the most vicious of all Hawaiian eels, wrestles this octopus and easily swallows it whole, after which it finds a secluded area to hide. This octopus rolls into this moray eel's eye so it can escape. You can see the octopus stuck on the eel's eyes, and the eel is not able to remove it. When the octopus thinks it's safe, it takes off like a rocket ship, and the eel doesn't know where to look. This octopus has wrapped itself around this moray eel as the two creatures fall onto the ocean floor. It's hard to tell what's going on, but the octopus stretches its body out quite well. Suddenly, we see the octopus take off, so I guess it was trying to free itself from the eel. Number 13. Polar bear versus walrus. This mother polar bear and her baby polar bear are on the hunt for food. The mother is too weak to attack a live walrus, but this walrus isn't a carcass, and when the bear gets too close, it sits up and faces the bear. The bear decides it's too risky and leaves with her cub, hoping to find something else soon. While things look to be going well so far for this polar bear and this big walrus, the bear is finding it tough to hold on to such a massive animal. The bear kills one of their younger calves. This polar bear leaps over a walrus and dives into the ocean after it. These bears will go to great lengths to feed themselves, just like you would if you were hungry. Despite its smaller size than the walrus, the bear is hungry and drags the animal into the sea. Number 12. Shrimp versus dragonfish. Detritus and decaying organic materials are common food sources for deep water shrimp. However, a group of scientists recently witnessed something unusual and a little unsettling that told them a lot about shrimp behavior. The researchers discovered a cardian shrimp tangled with a little critter called a dragonfish while exploring an underwater mountain named Ufiata Seamounts, which is part of the Tokelau Seamounts chain near American Samoa. The shrimp eventually grabbed the upper hand and began tearing the fish apart. The experts have never seen a shrimp pick through a fish like this before, and the fish was still alive. The shrimp then reached inside the prey's stomach and extracted a little fish the dragonfish had eaten. The scientists were astounded to witness the feeding activity and puzzled how this shrimp was able to grab the fish, given that deep-sea shrimps are often scavengers. The scientists said that they have grown accustomed to such surprises because they know so little about the deep ocean and are exploring not knowing what they will uncover on each new voyage. Number 11. Sea turtle versus jellyfish. An unfortunate jellyfish was snatched up for food by two peckish green turtles in a rare sighting. An Australian wildlife photographer came across this strange feeding frenzy while looking for leopard sharks off the coast of Byron Bay. Although adult green turtles are herbivorous, juvenile green turtles will eat invertebrates such as crabs, sponges, and jellyfish if the opportunity comes. This green sea turtle is enjoying a stinging meal, a jellyfish. Jellyfish paralyze prey using neurotoxins in their tentacles. But the turtle does not seem to be affected. It closes its eyes and uses its flipper as a shield from the jellyfish's stinging tentacles. Green sea turtles are predominantly herbivorous, but juveniles have been known to feed on jellyfish. This turtle has no qualms about approaching this jellyfish and devouring it. I never knew turtles watched their weight, because I'm convinced there aren't too many calories in a jellyfish. This sea turtle is giving quite the spectacle as it chews on this jellyfish in front of all these divers. The jellyfish is a beautiful purple color, but when the turtle decides she's hungry, the color of the jellyfish is irrelevant. This turtle is feasting on a large quantity of jellyfish. You can see all the jellyfish floating above the turtle, and the turtle has the pick of the litter. These hawksbill sea turtles find a beautiful jellyfish and decide to snack on it. They both flank the jellyfish on opposite sides and begin to eat it. Number 10. Orcas versus tiger shark and gill shark. Although killer whales have been long known to chase sharks as part of their diet, capturing them on film chasing a top predator like the tiger shark is incredibly rare. Killer whales are also thought to target great white sharks, though evidence of such encounters is scarce. Is this thumbnail real? Two orcas flank a tiger shark, and the orca that has its mouth open looks like it's smiling and having a good time. The shark, on the other hand, doesn't feel the same way, for obvious reasons. For the first time, a pod of killer whales has been caught hunting and killing a tiger shark in this video. An underwater photographer recorded the footage off the coast of Costa Rica, which is said to be a global first. It depicts 3 killer whales working together to get the scared shark to the surface, wear it down, then bite its fins when the opportunity arises. A massive bull eventually rushes in to administer the fatal blow, flipping the shark onto its back in the process, causing tonic immobility. But sharks are no match for killer whales, and you can see this orca tossing a shark up in the air as if it was flipping burgers. Orca is chasing down 7 gill sharks in this video. 7 gill sharks can grow to be 9 feet long and weigh 200 pounds, making them a far more substantial meal for an orca than a little ray. The 7 gill shark, on the other hand, is difficult to catch. 7 gills aren't on the orca's menu very often, but it does happen. The orca's hunting technique for the 7 gills is outstanding. They frequently bash the sharks in the back before ripping the shark's pectorals and extracting the liver. When you look at the shark, which is plunging to the ocean's depths, it is evident the orca is a master at hunting shark liver. Number 9. Lobster versus crab. These two look like they're making out. The lobster is hugging the crab, and it seems the feeling is mutual. If this is a fight, it's a fight for babies. This huge lobster goes in for a bite, but a crab shows up and they fight over the dead creature. The crab is quite big, but the lobster is not alone. No, wait, a few more crabs show up, and now it's lobsters. Wow, what's going on here? A crab tries to take a lobster's fish head off a one-armed lobster. 2 crabs are fighting over another crab. Usually, the larger animal prevails. Number 8. Giant octopus versus mega shark. A massive Pacific octopus is housed in an equally massive aquarium tank. Sharks are also known in the aquarium, and they are ferocious predators and opportunistic feeders who have been known to stray from their regular fishy diets to eat octopus on occasion. These are sharks known as spiny dogfish. I'm curious whether someone approached the octopus to inform it about such an arrangement of sharing a tank with sharks. So what happens if these two species are housed together in a water tank? You're going to find out if you have enough cojones to watch. This real-life Jaws isn't going to be pretty to watch, I have a feeling. I'm glad I didn't wager on this fight, because the octopus is cleaning up after the shark. Never judge a book by its cover. In this video, you can see sharks and octopi, and yes, you just saw a giant Pacific octopus annihilate a shark, but bigger sharks would probably be able to kill this octopus. Number 7. Eels fighting. In a battle to the death in South Maui, this yellow margin moray defeats the yellowhead moray. Morays are tough, and you can see by looking at this fight that they don't play around. It's kill or be killed. These 2 moray eels are not romantically inclined, and they're not talking or hissing. They are about to get into a scuffle, but one eel is bigger than the other as the smaller eel retreats into his hole. Two moray eels are engaged in a fight to the death. Both eels have their jaws planted into their opponent's body, and now it's a game of patience to see which one succumbs first. These two eels fighting look more like an audition for a new Disney underwater movie musical extravaganza. Number 6. Bobbitt worm. The bobbitt worm detects passing prey with its 5 antennae and snaps down on it with its extraordinarily muscled mouth parts, known as a pharynx. It can split a fish in half because of the quickness and strength with which it accomplishes this. This flamboyant cuttlefish is taking a stroll when a bobbitt worm snatches it, but for some reason, the worm lets go of the cuttlefish and the current carries it away. I'm not sure if it's dead or alive because it was barely moving before the attack, and it has the same body movement after the attack, which is no movement at all. This footage was captured while the diver was watching the bobbitt worm during a night dive. Because small creatures are typically drawn to strong lights, the lionfish was attempting to hunt into the glare of the camera lights. It wasn't the best strategy in this circumstance because the hunter became the victim. The diver initially dismissed the lionfish as a nuisance, but after a few seconds, he realized how fortunate he was to witness the bobbitt worm's lightning fast and immensely strong strike. Keep in mind that the lionfish was around 6 inches long, while the bobbitt worm was only about the thickness of 2 fingers. Bobbitt worms are found in coastal habitats of the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans and are named after Lorena Bobbitt, who was prosecuted in 1993 for cutting off her husband's penis. A bobbitt worm strikes an unwary fish and returns to its burrow in this video. According to a recent study, 20 million-year-old burrows discovered in Taiwan may have been home to monsters comparable to today's monstrous bobbitt worms that attack victims. Number 5. Polar bear versus beluga. These beluga whales are incredibly frail and damaged. The ice, on the other hand, did not cause their injuries. For any meat-eater hunter, a whale would be a magnificent prize, yet these beluga whales stranded by the ice are within reach of polar bears. When threatened, belugas try to stay submerged as long as possible, although they can hold their breath for roughly 20 minutes. Even if the whale is weak from malnutrition, catching a 4-meter-long 1-ton whale is no easy task. This polar bear isn't preparing for a 100-meter freestyle competition. He's fishing for beluga whales. And when he dives for one in this video, he hits the jackpot. There isn't much the friendly whale can do once the bear has seized it. These bears are hunting beluga whales, and such a large buffet will keep them full for days. Number 4. Sea lions versus octopus. A camera filmed a never-before-seen act of predation as Australian sea lions lend a hand, or perhaps a flipper, in the establishment of South Australia's marine parks. A big octopus is captured and eaten by a sea lion. The behavior and foraging habits of the endangered Australian sea lion are being revealed by the seabed ecosystems of South Australia. Sea lions equipped with GPS trackers and cameras are taking scientists on incredible adventures to discovered marine hotspots. These places are crucial for supporting fish populations, as well as providing food for sea lions. This rocky outcropping is the size of a football field and is home to Australia's largest sea lion population. The camera captures a difficult prey item, a huge octopus that is too big to swallow. She drags it to the surface so she can breathe while attempting to break it down into bite-sized bits. The octopus tries to flee several times, but the sea lion is unyielding. The sea lion chops off tentacles one by one, and as the octopus floats away, it returns for more, keeping the victim near the surface so it can breathe. This sea lion doesn't waste any time when it snatches this octopus as it pops out of the water. This sea lion has found an octopus, and it either brought it there or found it there. I'm pretty sure it hunted it and played with it along the way, and it ended up here with its prey. It seems to be having a load of fun with the 8-legged mollusk. I'm not sure it saw his 8 legs though. The person filming thought the sea lion was just eating a fish when it abruptly struck something. But as the boat went by and the sea lion swam away, he peered down and saw a massive fleshy mass plunging into the sound as the ship swept over the site. It wasn't until he watched the video again that he realized the sea lion was eating an octopus. In the waters near Ogden Point, a harbor seal and a gigantic Pacific octopus are fighting. Some beachgoers were fortunate enough to capture this once-in-a-lifetime event on video. This octopus is no slouch, and it's giving the sea lion a good fight. Number 3. Moray eel attacks stonefish. This huge moray eel doesn't seem concerned with this stonefish's deadly spine when it bites into it without hesitating 1 second. I guess the moray eel never got the email regarding stonefish. This moray eel pulls the stonefish out of its hiding place and shows it to these divers, after which he swims around with the stonefish in his mouth. I'm not quite sure if he's looking for a place to eat it, or if he just doesn't know what to do with it. This stonefish is already dead, but this moray eel doesn't care as he bites and tears it to pieces to eat it. Stonefish are venomous, yet when this moray eel strikes it, it avoids the stonefish's deadly spine, sinks its teeth into it, and doesn't let go, thus killing the stonefish. Number 2. Octopus versus pufferfish. Divers encountered a strange fight between an octopus and a pufferfish off Frigate Island in the Seychelles. The octopus appears to be trying to make a meal out of the pufferfish, but is that even possible? While octopi have the capacity to eat creatures small and large, they usually don't eat fish, especially poisonous ones. Pufferfish are filled with tetrodotoxin, a neurotoxin 100 times more potent than cyanide. However, no one knows how this affects octopi. In addition to this chemical defense, pufferfish are covered in spines. Octopi's arms, however, are nimble and malleable, which allows them to wrap around sharp edges without injury. The divers had to leave the scene before seeing the outcome, so scientists can only speculate which of the two came out alive. This octopus wraps itself around a pufferfish and tries to bring it into its den, but somehow it's not as easy as the octopus thought it would be. Number 1. Crab versus sea urchin. This sea urchin has arrived at the hair salon for a quick trim before his daughter's wedding. The crab is very smart and clips the sea urchin's spikes. This crab could open a hair salon and make a lot of money. When the haircut is done, the crab leaves. Carrier crabs truly live up to their name. They have 2 specially modified back legs to carry objects as a defense mechanism. This sea urchin hitches a ride on this crab as they head downtown to the wedding. A red sea urchin and a blue crab, a handful of hermit crabs with somewhat cumbersome looking shells, and several exceptionally well camouflaged species you wouldn't even know were there from an unusual alliance. The crab acts as a secondary guard for the urchin, and you see it threatening the cameraman filming this video. All of these interactions were interesting. My favorite was the relationship between the crab and the sea urchin. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's our countdown of 15 times sea animals messed with the wrong opponents. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.